to. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Elmiraj concept. This is your latest thinking out of Cadillac's design studios out in California. And it's a new influence of our art and science design philosophy. So it's a vehicle that's much more sculpted with very dramatic proportions. Now underneath the hood you've got a 4.5 liter twin turbo V8 engine. This gives you 500 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque. We've designed functional vents right there in the hood line. And you'll also see that this vehicle is very committed and geared towards performance. We feature ceramic brakes, nice big wheels, 22 by 9-inch wheels, so nice and wide to give you that stable ride. Now as you look around the Elmiraj concept, make sure you check out, obviously a nice big grill, but check out our crest. This is Cadillac's new logo, our new emblem. If you see the back wall to my right, what you'll see is the evolution of all of our different emblems or logos over the course of our history. We've actually changed it 35 different times. I thought that was pretty interesting. I always like to throw that in there. But in January for 2014, what you're looking at is a beautiful new shield. Fits our lineup very nicely in the respect as you look around the product floor here, you're going to see the vehicles are getting lower, they're getting wider, and that's emulated in that shield there as well. So obviously the Elmiraj proudly displays that. First vehicle in our product line that will get the new shield is our ATS Coupe on the other turntable across the way there. So we'll see it in the rest of the lineup in the near future. Now another interesting fact I always like to talk about with the Elmiraj concept is the overall length. Obviously it's a nice big vehicle, kind of traditional Cadillac if you think about how we always made our vehicles back in the day, but the overall length is 205 inches, so this is longer than our 2015 Escalade to kind of give you an idea of the size. As far as the interior, you're certainly going to see beautiful materials, everything authentic, obviously a lot of attention to detail as well as craftsmanship. Being a concept, we're not allowed to open the doors, so I will let you know, feel free to come in closer to the glass here so you have a better opportunity to see some of those features I talk about on the inside. You have this beautiful caramel leather scattered throughout, nice French stitching. Notice it's almost an orange color, so it just accentuates and pops to give you a little more of a dramatic styling on the inside. Any of the metals that you see, it's probably notable right by the seat belts here. That's a titanium insert. On the doors it's backlit, so it just accentuates the lines of the interior. And then the wood is absolutely beautiful. You're going to find it up the center stack, the bottom back portion of those front seats, and you get a great view from the back of the vehicle. So before leaving, make sure you take a look. But also Brazilian rosewood will also be featured on the entire roof line of the Elmiraj concept. So you kind of have to look up and under, but it's a beautiful sight. The designers obviously pour a lot of attention into these concepts, and it's very intricate, the process. We handpick fallen trees, and it goes through a three-dimensional carving process so that they have control of the grain that they want to showcase inside this vehicle. The technology on the Elmiraj concept is outstanding. Take a look at the instrument cluster here. You'll notice it's a multi-dimensional screen. That tach and speedometer are utilizing transparent screens. Now we have a video, because obviously we're not driving the vehicle, but it's in a show mode where it's showing you the capability of what the instrument cluster can do. And you'll notice they've designed it so if you mount a camera on the front, it's going to display in the entire instrument cluster screen, giving you full use of that screen. A navigation screen is mounted in the center. Very thoughtful technology as well. It's a glide-up technology, so 10-inch screen that's high definition. I like the fact that you can choose to have it up or down, because if you are enjoying a beautiful ride up north inside a vehicle of this nature, the navigation screen can drop down. It'll blend seamlessly in the dash and not be a distraction for you. So as I said, very thoughtful feature. Now the doors do open. I like to let everyone know that, although I'm not allowed to being a concept, and I will show you the handles kind of actually in this nature. It's blended with the vehicle. It's a very intentional way that they've done that. They didn't want to design an actual door handle because as you look at the vehicle, it takes away from the lines. That's part of the reason there's no B-pillar. The designers wanted your eyes to flow a certain way in lines with the vehicle. So as you can see, they've extended this line down into the wheel, for example. But there is one there. It does function. All of our concepts at GM actually do operate. They pride themselves of that. We have video footage of this vehicle actually on the highway. Now when the doors open, it's actually on a special hinge. The designers did notify us of that. So not only does it open, it'll shift forward. The idea behind that is so that it creates more space as you enter and exit this vehicle. Being that it's a Grand Coupe, we know any coupe in the industry, if you're the one that has to sit in the back seat, certainly it's going to be a challenge. So they've actually done something to rectify that. All four four seats are powered. They've added a valet mode, so you push a button on the back of this front seat. The front seat will shift forward about 10 inches out of your way. The rear seat moves forward to meet the back seat passenger. Once they're seated, it'll go back into position. All four seats are performance seats. They have a recline feature as well, even in the back. That's why there's that gap there. And there's also individual climate control for all four passengers. So luxury certainly is the theme with this vehicle, but also performance as well. Now, the name. This is a very common question. Where did we come up with the name of the Elmiraj? I always like to address that. If you are familiar with California, that's where our design studios are. Elmiraj, California. It's a dry lake bed out in California there. High-speed tests are done there. Started off in the 20s or 30s, which is a debatable year, by the way. But that said, it still goes on to this day. But as you look at this vehicle, I'm sure you're looking and noticing styling traits of a Cadillac we used to make back in the day. And it's specifically the 67 Eldorado. Absolutely. So between those two sources, that's where they've actually developed the name of this vehicle. Last but not least, my number one question is always, when are we making this vehicle? When's it hitting production? So I always like to address that with everyone. As of right now, the Elmiraj is just that, a concept vehicle. Cadillac has not announced production on this vehicle. I will let you know it's the second concept in the past 3 years on the same platform. That doesn't happen very often. We have a great track record here at Cadillac of getting our concepts into production and actually looking like the concept vehicle. We have 4 production vehicles right now in our lineup that did start off as concepts and made it to production. So I always like to tell everyone, never say never. I think it is safer to say stay tuned to see what's to come in the next, we'll say near future here at Cadillac. So if you have any questions on the Elmiraj concept, definitely feel free to ask. Once again, my name is Tracy. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks for dropping by Cadillac today. And you guys have a great time here while you're enjoying the New York Auto Show.